Hey, so yesterday's shave was a bit strange. I have gotten terrific shaves from Stirling. Yesterday I took my brush and I loaded from the puck 30 seconds. Then that wasn't enough. I loaded another 10 seconds. Still wasn't enough. I didn't get a very good lather. It wasn't creamy at all. It wasn't didn't have body, but it was a good soap, and so it's slick enough to take care of business. But it's not what we all want. And that was very different than pretty much every other experience with Stirling that I've had. Well, I put it together that I can't remember if I used my distilled water or some tap water. And as of yesterday, we were having some problems with a little bit of contamination in our tap water. It's discolored slightly. We're in a community well, and so we're going to have that looked at. Hopefully it's just something that goes away, as people use it up and get it out of the system. And so if I may have used distilled water yesterday, but we're going to do another one with the same scent. Stirling for him, and Versace Pour Homme is the mainstream cologne that this is based off of. It's just a nice light cologne type scent. I enjoy it. Kind of happy. This kind of words that jump to mind when I smell it. And so today we're going to switch blades, use up a PolSilver, and I've got about 12 uses on it looks like. We'll be using, change up the brush a little bit. I think this is a 1250. I can never remember if it's a 1250 or 60. I'm pretty sure it's a 60. I'm sorry, a 50. And we are going to use the same razor as yesterday because I surely enjoyed it. This is a Gillette new RFB, which stands for raised flat bottom. It doesn't have that speed bump. It has a flat bottom right there. It just did so well yesterday. This one's really shiny because it's been replated, but it's I think from the 1930s, and it's just a well-designed piece of equipment. It's beautiful, but the geometry just works out really well for me. All right, I have pressed a 1/4 teaspoon into this bowl. Now I have done that before with Stirling, and that always gives me a good amount, about the right amount of lather. And so I'm going to use distilled water today, and so my problems with tap water should not affect my lather today. So let's just see what happens. Shake off some of the water from the brush, and we'll start up. This is a comfortable brush. Smoothed out really nicely within a couple of uses. I think we're on use number 8 right now. Left a little bit more water in the brush there, and so it kind of foamed up pretty quickly, but that's all right. It'll calm down once we work that out. Looking real good, smelling good. And so, because I soaked my brush in the distilled water, and I refill my syringe from the cup where I soaked my brush, I know that only distilled water is going into the lather. I just put in 1 teaspoon. One of my past formulations, since I keep records, said that I used about 3 teaspoons of water for like a 30-second load, or maybe it was just a 1/4 teaspoon of measured soap. I can't remember which one. So adding 1 teaspoon in the very beginning shouldn't be a problem. Lather looks really good. Another thing I thought about was that the Zenith B10 that I used yesterday, it's a bigger knot than this one is. I wonder if it just has a tendency to hold more water. And so then that can be a little deceptive, as it might wash out a lather. This one looks terrific, nice and shiny. We're just building it up. So if this 1/4 teaspoon gives me 3 passes of lather with no problem, then we know that there's nothing really wrong with this soap, at least, you know, in terms of the ingredients and all that. What may need to be improved on is that maybe that B10 brush. I'll try it again next time, and maybe that B10 brush, just that particular one may need more time on the soap, you know, or something like that. But I'll bet it's just the water. Maybe the water's extra hard right now because of those added ingredients, because of the contamination, or I think it's probably some dirt in the lines or something like that. But this is looking great. Looking very normal for a Stirling lather at this stage. Okay, I'm going to refill it now. So we've put 2 teaspoons into the lather. Let's hold off. Just make sure I don't want to thin it out again. Make sure this is mixed in, and then I'll do a finger check. Oh, that smells nice coming up to my nose. Another thing I want to watch out for is the scent strength. I was so distracted perhaps last time with the drippy lather and trying to rescue it. I forgot to note how strong the scent was. Every once in a while, Stirling will put out one that's really underscented for my preferences. Usually they hit it right at a nice sweet spot for me, and that's another reason why I like Stirling. This lather looks good. Got a nice shiny glossy coat on it. So this definitely looks different than what we had yesterday. Do a little finger test like I told you. Oh yeah, this is a very different feel. It actually feels wet and slippery on my fingertips. This is the good old Stirling that I have used before in many cases. I'll bet I just happened to use or not use my distilled water yesterday, and I bet that was the whole issue, with having a problem with the lather. All right, so now use the handy brush rest while I splash some water on my face. All right, let's go at it. Yeah, very different. This is the normal Stirling, and you know what? I messaged Stirling Soaps, and they responded within 5 minutes with an educated answer, and just asking, caring about my problem, and that is awesome. And this lather is almost a little on the thick side, so if you like your lather creamy, then this is the mix you want. I, however, like it to be creamy, right before it drops off and becomes too thin, that's that extra hydrated point right there. I like it about as hydrated as it can be and still be considered creamy. That's where my preference is. This feels terrific. Yeah, we've got tons of soap available here. I'm adding water, and you know what that's doing? It's actually generating more lather. It's not actually thinning down the lather because it's helping to activate and generate more lather. So I could have definitely added some more water in the lather bowl. All right, bring out our razor with the PolSilver in it. I kind of feel the edge. I don't feel a blade edge. The sensation is more of just something moving along, touching my hairs. There's no pulling at all. It's cutting quickly and efficiently. Now right there I did actually feel it, probably because I kind of puffed up my skin and stretched it out a little bit. So that probably moved the skin more into the exposure of the blade. Here I'm feeling the blade just a little bit. Could be that my angle is not the most optimal when doing that. Love this little bowl in my sink. Started to do that lately. Someone online suggested, said that was what they do. I decided to try it and I like it. For my razor, it gets rinsed in a bowl, but my face gets rinsed from the tap, like I need to do now. So that was a nice lather, nice rinse, creamy, very good feels on that one. Either it was the brush yesterday or it was the water hardness or contamination, something like that, because that was excellent. That was just a 1/4 teaspoon of soap, and I've still got lots of lather to enjoy. So let's put on that second pass. And actually, you know what? I'm going to put in another 1/2 teaspoon since I definitely needed more in the face just now on that first pass. One of the great things about using one particular base for a while, even if you dabble around in different scents, you really get a feel for how you like it fine-tuned, how it looks, how it acts, how it even sounds when it's time for you to stop adding water and it's where you like it. All right. This brush splays very easily. I wouldn't really say it was floppy. Some people might. Oh, now this lather is even This is thicker than before. So you can do the swipes like this. See, there's a clumping. I don't have, oh yeah, I do have a mole right there. But there's kind of a thinness to it, and almost of a pastiness that's there, and a little bit of a clumping. So we'll just add a little bit of water. Learned my lesson. After I spray the water on my neck, don't go in there hot and heavy with circular patterns and things like that, because it just splashes the water around. Oh yeah, there we go. I can feel that the pastiness that was there initially is gone. Very nice. Second pass, super smooth as usual. Tons of lather today. My hair grows this way right here, so I'm going cross grain, but this time from the bottom. There's a little small area where I can do it, and then I have to stop and switch directions. Be real careful when you have this muscle over here. You don't want to ride down the ridge like that. Come at it like from one side or the other is usually what makes my skin the happiest. Excellent. All right, rinse. Okay. Kind of get rid of the excess rinse water there on my face. I added another ½ teaspoon to the lather since I still was a little dry last time. And we just have a nice, silky, flexible, elastic lather here. Look at that. Just perfect. Just perfect, at least for the way I like it. Don't have to scrub too much on the third pass. Just start. So much lather, it's flying off. What's that right there? A little bit of soap or something? I don't know. Nice. This is a really efficient cutter, but it does it so smoothly. Wow. I mean, it's got that great combo of being nice enough to be a daily driver, but if you needed a razor to knock down 3 or 4 days of growth, it just wouldn't have a problem doing that either. Yeah, nice close cut even in my worst area. and rinse. So unfortunately the scent, not very strong. 3 or 4 out of 10. Lightly available during the shave. You get a nice whiff of it when you stick your face in the bowl, but otherwise it's light. Kind of intentional. It's a light, happy cologne, but as for me and my nose, I would love to be able to have it be a little bit more presentable. This is a magnificent, perfectly dialed in lather. Smells great. Awesome. So shave's done. I don't need to do any touch-ups or anything like that. So now it's time to clean up. How much water did I end up using? 3 teaspoons here. But you know, I did have to go to the sprayer a couple times to try to hydrate it when it was on my face. So one might be able to guess 3.5, maybe even 4 teaspoons of water per half a teaspoon, quarter teaspoon of soap. Just the way, and that does jive with some of my shaves with Stirling. It's a thirsty soap, and I like that because you can see how elastic I can get it, and it bonds to my face and protects me with its slickness, and the moisture just like sucks into my face. Works really well. Great glide with the razor. So that's just what Stirling has. Really happy about that. To do the after shave, I think I'm going to see if I have my Classic by Dr. John's down there. I couldn't find my Classic. I had Black Label by Dr. John's, but that's a little too heavy for me. I was looking for something the citrusy of the Classic, so I went with C2 from Barrister and Mann. Don't really need a balm right now. The face feels great. A little bit of stinging. Nice scent. Gets even better once the alcohol kind of burns away. This particular one stings, and so yeah, denatured alcohol. Got a little bit of witch hazel in it, chamomile something or other, calendula. Cool. And the stinging's gone in like 7 seconds, so yeah, that's a good scent too. Very good. All right, cleanup time. And you know, big success for the soap that I used yesterday. It performed normally for Stirling, which was very good. And I didn't have the lather problems like I did yesterday. So tomorrow, maybe I'll try the B10 brush again and see. Use it with the distilled water, and I bet I won't have any problems at all. Even if I load from the top of the puck instead of scooping like I did today. So yeah, I'd classify this one as kind of a lower backbone knot. Now that it's kind of broken in more, we've got 8 shaves on it now, and I have been soaking it like I did today for a couple hours before use, and that seems to have accelerated the break-in process a little bit. And so I'd say this guy right now, in terms of its backbone, out of a 10, maybe I'd say a 3 or 4. And so that's about where I like them. I don't think it's really too floppy. It still bounces back, you know, pretty quickly to where it needs to go, and it's getting bigger and bigger. So I'd say this is a great. And holy cow, these brushes! This brush is like either $12 or $14. It's just such a soft and enjoyable brush. It's such a great cost. All right, there we go. All done. Excellent shave. I've got no irritation. There was a couple of, like one little area down here that stung a little bit, but it's gone. I don't even know where it was. Face feels great. That splash, the C2 splash, it feels great on the skin after the burn wears off. So really happy with that. This razor continues to impressed me with another blade in it. The great little brush, and the Stirling from yesterday kind of redeemed itself. So it's got to be the water. Guess there's a remote chance it's that brush and how maybe I didn't wring the water out enough, and so it washed itself out. But I don't think that's it. I think it's probably the water. So we'll repeat yesterday's with that same brush. Just make sure we use the distilled tomorrow. It's all good. Feels great. Hope there was something here for you. You take care. It's late, but I've got a bunch of work to do. This is Sugar Daddy Shaves. Good night.